So hi, welcome to the Rural Project. My name's Chris and today we're going to do a little bit of a different video. Not much action, but a little bit of talking about the plans ahead for 2024. So by the time you get to see this, it'll be mid-2024 I would imagine, but this is almost a New Year's resolution type video. So what I want to do is just have a little bit of a reflection on 2023 because didn't seem to get an awful lot of jobs progressed on the Rural Project. 2024, I want that to be a big year. I've got a lot of plans. So a key thing is myself and my son, who's now just 19, heading into university next year. We're both going to give it a bloody good go with the firewood. Let's just give it a test. We said let's get as much firewood made as we can this summer, and let's see how much we can sell over winter. That'll give us an indication of whether turning this into a bit more of a viable business rather than just a bit of a hobby is actually going to be feasible. Now, if we were to go ahead and do this properly, things would have to change quite drastically. You'd need a different property. I couldn't operate it from here. But yeah, we just want to give it a bit of a test. So, as you'll have seen in a few of the shorts, we've recently acquired another log splitter, Kinetic log splitter. So production rates are up. We've now got 2 log splitters. And the Kinetic one showed us get through the firewood quickly. Nathan's also got one of his mates helping him, and between the two of them and myself, we're starting to rattle through this firewood. I'm doing all the bucking and they're doing the splitting. So we'll see how much of this firewood we can get done in the next few weeks, so that it's got as much time as possible to dry out, ready for winter 2024. So excuse the noise if you can hear it. It's absolutely lashing it down here at the Rural Project. I've come down here to do some jobs today and got stuck in the shed because of the heavy rain. So I guess what you're going to see is, yeah, things are a little bit different, a bit more of a focus on trying to make this land a little bit more viable. So we've got the firewood business that we're going to push hard this year. We've already got a few more advertisements out on a local Facebook page and things like that. And we are selling heaps of the pizza oven firewood, which is the stuff people are buying this time of year in Australia. Obviously very little firewood. We're selling plenty of that pizza oven wood, and hopefully things will keep progressing as we get more and more customers. We've got firewood bags on order, which arrive in the next week, and that'll allow us to do firewood bags. In Australia, people are more into firewood bags than bundles, but similar sort of sized bag load of firewood. So what we're going to do, we're going to give that a bloody good go, and if it works out we can make a decision at the end of winter whether we want to proceed. What we've noticed over the last few years of doing the firewood, at the end of winter you get some big firewood processors up for sale that have just done a complete season. The big firewood companies want to move those on, sell them off cheaper, and get themselves the latest kit. So that's something that interests me, to get a firewood processor at the end of the season if things are looking good. Right, and then let's have a talk about what other things we're trying to do to bring a little bit of money in. So I've also started looking to see how viable it is to get a tiny house on here. I've got one person that's really interested. Tiny houses are getting pretty popular in Australia as a bit of a weekend getaway place, or a few people do live in them permanently. But the idea had been, you don't have to set up power supplies. Water supply can be from the tank, septic systems already in place here, and people use composting toilets. But they bring their tiny house, drop it on your land, and pay you a modest rent, and then they live there. Now the people I've spoken to up to now are actually quite comfortable with me coming here as well on weekends, and then they have it pretty much themselves Monday to Friday. So that would work out really nice, and then we've got the perfect spot for them. So if I can make that work, that'll be something else I want to actually get into in 2024. Now what I've also got on the go, I think in 2022, something like that, we started with a house designer. Well, that went pretty pear-shaped, and yeah, let's just say we didn't see eye to eye with a few things. I've now engaged, prior to Christmas, I engaged a new house designer. So it's a house design and build company. So these guys will actually design it, and they design it with knowledge of build, so that we can get hopefully a cost-effective build. So we've just started that process, and hopefully over the next few months things will start to progress there. So the idea being, by the end of 2024, we have got the house designs all completed and all the permits in place to start building in early 2025. Okay, so now let's have a little look at some of the jobs that we want to get done this year. I wrote myself a little bit of a list. So some of the things we want to get into this year. So down at the firewood processing area. So this whole bank of trees up here, I need to get in there, and I think I'll be able to get in there with the land clearing saw. I need to thin all that out. There are saplings absolutely everywhere, and because of that we're not getting any big mature trees growing anymore. They're all sort of staying the same size, so a bit of thinning in there, again, huge job. And on the dam access road, I need to finish off this little turning circle, which needs a bit of tidy up. But to finish it off and do it properly, I really need to extend this retaining wall. As you can see, we've got proper posts sunk into the ground here, proper timber post construction. Pulling over here. But once I get to here, it's star pickets that were driven into the ground, and as you can see, that's actually all started to fall away. So what I need to do is continue this retaining wall, most probably 2 around here, just that section there, and backfill that. And then what I can do, I can just finish levelling this out, and this area will be done. I got to fix the dam overflow. Either side of the overflow there, the water has flown over when it was in full flood. The full diameter of that pipe was flowing. Water was flowing over into that gap there, and this gap in here, washing all the soil away. So whilst it looks like there's a nice tin sheet for the water to run down, as you can see there, this is actually all eroded underneath. So I need to get in here with the excavator, pull this tin sheet out of the way, re-stabilise this embankment, and build a new overflow. And down by the dam, I need to bring all these rows of timber, all these logs that have been stacked, 1, 2, 3 stacks, 4 stacks there, 5, 6, get them taken up to the wood processing area, get them put through the swing saw, turn them into firewood. So as well as some of those items, some of the other things I want to get into is where the house area is going to be. I need to get in and tidy that up again. It's turned into an absolute mess. It's been a dumping ground for ages. I need to tidy up in a lot of other areas, bring a lot of stuff back here, burn it in that house area, and then keep the house area tidy. I've got to sort out the pool fencing. So the pool fencing's got one area that's non-compliant, and I need to get on with that PDQ. As we said, we've got an awful lot of logs to buck and split and stack and dry, so we'll get on with that. As you've maybe seen in some of the videos, I've put rock on the access roads. Now, I've not completed that task yet, so that's another thing I want to do, is get rock down on the rest of the access road. And if possible, once that rock's down, which is 120mm minus, so it's some big chunky rock that's been getting put down, and it's helping to lift the tyres of the car out of the mud. Once I've got that done, I'd like to actually try some asphalt. So the asphalt millings, the stuff that you can get it pretty cheap. Hopefully I can get a few truckloads of that delivered, and I'll get that laid on top, and hopefully that'll give me a much smoother surface. I've got to do a little bit of work on the chimney here. I'm getting a bit of leaking coming down the inside of the pipe, so I've got to swap the large diameter, I think it's 10-inch, just looking at it up there. I think it's 10-inch pipe. I've got to swap that around and then put a new cowling on it. The driveway needs widening for me to be code compliant. There are retaining walls above the house. I need to put some retaining walls in there. They're all timber at the moment, a bit of a mess. Need to do that properly. I've got a load of trees in pots around the back of my house at home. I grew them all from seed. Well, they all need putting in and planting this autumn. Below where the house will be, between what is the septic system and the house, again, there's currently a wooden retaining wall in there. I need to pull that retaining wall out and get that replaced with steel and concrete, because once the house is in, there's absolutely no way you'll be able to get back there and fix that retaining wall in the future. So before I put a house in, I want to get that retaining wall done. And as you'll have seen in one of the other videos, I want to get a shower and the toilet operating in here. Predominantly the shower. Yep, sick of heading home absolutely filthy. Would really like to be able to finish a day of work here, get a shower nice and clean, jump in the car and head home. I also need to be able to find a way of moving water from this water tank that gets filled up from the shed. The outlet is just down there, and I need to be able to move water from there all the way up to those water tanks. Now at the moment I just have a surface pipe. There is a pipe underground down here, but I need to get in and find out where that pipe is, where it goes, what's blocking it, so I can then have an underground water supply right up to those tanks. So that is where the house will go eventually, and then directly in front of it there's retaining walls around here. Now those retaining walls have been damaged in the past. When the fires came through, they got damaged. So hopefully you can see there's a couple of areas there where there's some wooden posts out the ground here. I've got a few more dotted around. So I've put most of the posts in, but I need to get the beams in place, finish the retaining walls off, and then these trees here, they all need to get a bloody good cut down, because they're actual view blockers. When the house is in place, those things will be blocking the view unless I give them a very big trim, a big haircut. Now with all those jobs, doesn't leave much time for just the mundane jobs that have to be done on a regular basis. I still need to move water from one water tank to another, still need to do a bit of brush cutting, a bit of cleaning. There'll be trees that come down that need moving, bucking, splitting, stacking. All those mundane jobs are all still live and still need to be done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to transfer this list into jobs that I'd like to have done and jobs that must be done. Then I'm also going to put on that list when those jobs need to be done. So as an example, if I'm planting the trees, we'll be planting the trees in autumn or spring. I won't be doing it in summer, and I won't be doing it in winter. So just mark a little list of all of these items, when they need to be done and which ones I have to get on with, and hopefully that'll give me a bit of a priority, and then I can share my priority list with you here. So there we are, there's the ramblings of a madman. It's my sort of commitment to 2024. So let's see how we get on with this list. Not too sure how I'm going to keep a track of it. I might get a whiteboard in the shed here and just get it jotted down, all the key items that need to be done, and then yeah, we'll keep an eye on them, and hopefully that'll keep me in check and make sure that I actually start working on the right things. Right, that's it from me. The ramblings of a madman on the rural project. I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.